Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Titled Confidence. I'm a 19-year-old male who is scared that he lacks the IQ for a STEM degree. We're gonna stop right here, and you're gonna stop being a goddamn pussy. I don't have time for this fucking bullshit. You are scared you lack the IQ. You either have it or you don't. Like, I'm scared I might have the genes for brown eyes. Oh my god, look at me, I got brown eyes. Your IQ is what it is. You can make it more. You can slough off and it'll go down a little bit. But you have more or less a baseline IQ that if you don't destroy it with drugs and you don't improve it with studying, you have this certain, you could say, genetic level of intelligence that will not go away. So you either have it or you don't. So when you're done being a pussy, you can go and get it tested. You don't have to pay for an IQ test. Again, I will recommend queendom.com, not only because it's free, it's one of the best, if not the best online free IQ test. It really pisses people off when I recommend it. It's like, it's the best free measuring stick that's out there. And it will tell you, I smell within you a weakness where you don't want to study or try hard, and you're afraid that's going to show up because you sound weak. You sound like you don't want to study, and that's what the fear is. You don't fear the results, you fear your own damn laziness. And I've had brilliant people when I taught statistics in a college class. Not many, but more than a handful of my students I knew were smart. But they were lazy. And then when they took the IQ, I remember one, he was officially retarded. I think he got like a 79. I guess I'm retarded. It's like, no, you're just lazy, which is worse. At least someone who's mentally retarded does not have, they do have an excuse. They have an explanation. You're just lazy. You choose not to do. All right, so why don't, for the first time in your life, you stop being a scaredy little pussycat and you grow a fucking pair, okay? You study hard. You take some practice tests for IQ tests online. Just practice once. And then you go in and you test what you're capable of. And then you'll know whether or not you have the raw intellectual power to major in STEM. And you don't have to worry about it. And then, don't worry if you don't. Because you will do infinitely better knowing, like, let's say you come back with an IQ of 100. Okay, 100. Yeah, you're probably not going to go into STEM. All right, probably not. So then you're going to look more like accounting maybe. Even IT might be out of your league. The trades, people think the trades are for dumb people. It's not. You got to be smart with the trades, but you could do low level, it does not take a genius to do carpentry. It does take a genius to kind of measure it all and have the architecture and the engineering, but to sheetrock and mud and tape, you can learn it, all right? But it's best you find out what your IQ really is and knock it off with, I'm scared what my IQ is. I'm like, I'm scared how tall I'm going to be. You're going to be as tall as you're going to be as tall. And then we start taking some adult steps here. And, okay, here's my IQ. And remember, you want to half-ass it. You want to be a coward. You don't want to study. That's fine. Your IQ is going to come in very low. You're going to believe it. And you're going to go, I only got an IQ of 95. And then you're going to go do whatever people with IQs of 95 do. Or you study your ass off. And the way you write, I'm going to assume you're very clear. I'm going to assume you're coming in at least 110 or higher. And you're going to say, I can do STEM. All right? But I'll tell you, regardless of IQ, people who can't do STEM are those who cower in fear of challenge and work and studying. All right? And you're freaking out over an IQ test. There's a lot harder tests when you go major in whatever engineering. Okay? So we decide today and now, Are we going to cower for the rest of our lives? Are we going to knock it the fuck off and we're going to do our best and then basically we die? So I don't know about you, but I like to do my best because there's that whole, oh, and then you die. There's that whole death thing at the end. My favorite lecturer, Jordan Peterson, recommends people choose a job based on their IQ. I tend to agree. Although I've never taken a formal IQ test, it seems to me I'm average intelligence. Well, you don't know. You haven't tried. I used to believe hard work was everything, but this possible fact horrifies me. Hard work is everything. I mean, there's also intelligence, and there is luck, too. There's luck. There's no doubt about that. The fear. Oh, fear. The fear of me entering STEM only to never one day never be the upper quartile of any career due to me not being endowed with sufficient brains makes me not want to try anything at all. Well, you don't want to try anything at all. I guarantee you're going to be in the bottom 1%. You will be fucking nobody if you don't try. Yeah, you're right. Cower and fear. You know, that girl might shoot me down. Right. Don't ask her out because then you'll never lose your virginity. Don't ask girls out. She might say no. Christ. All right, so then I asked, all right, well, what are your grades in the math, the GPA, SAT, and all that? Your SAT is 1,000 out of 1,600. Your GPA is 3.6. I think your GPA and your SAT don't add up. You got a very nice GPA. Your SAT score, you probably test for shit, and you didn't study for it, which I understand. I didn't study for mine either. This is why I'm so adamant, because I see elements of me in the past, and I'm like, want to go back and kick the shit out of myself. So your GPA is 3.6. That's higher than I ever had in high school, I'll tell you that. I live in what you call the ghetto. Math was a B for me typically, but I feel the inferiority of my school district may have hindered me. That's possible. Here's... I think I have a video out there called Your Teachers Don't Matter. Look, guys, you don't control where you were born or where you go to school. That's up to your parents, okay? And you don't control who you get as teachers. You don't control what school you go to. You do control your education. And the reason I say your teachers don't matter is because they don't. They don't. Your education is very important, so you have to take ownership from it, even if your teachers are incompetent fucking retards, which most of them are. Most of your teachers are low IQ morons who should not be teaching. We should have smart people who are experts in their fields and work in the real world who can tell you how it works. That they can say, no, this is how it works in the real world. We don't do that. We take our laziest and our dumbest, and we make them, and our most politicized, and we make them teachers. Right? So even though you have bad teachers and bad schools and bad students and peers and there's fights or whatever's going on, it's not a good learning. That is too bad. I'm sorry. You need to then go online, study at home, or an increasing option is you can go and go to school, high schools online. They have that offered here in Minnesota. I don't know where you are, but there might be an online school you can go to. You don't have to fucking deal with the ghetto. You don't have to deal with the fights or anything like that. You don't have to deal with the shitty teachers because what's the difference between teaching yourself and having a shitty teacher teach you? Teaching yourself is way easier because your shitty teacher is going to teach you the wrong thing. And you on your own is better than having a shitty teacher. This way we're communicating now, right now, this is better. YouTube can replace all teachers. Right? It certainly has replaced all education. You don't need to go to the library. You don't need to go to the you don't need to go to school. You get all the education here for free. The only problem is that by law you have to go to school. So either online, you can try and homeschool. Ask your mom if you could be homeschooled. Say, Mom, Tom Woods has a great homeschool curriculum. You could take that online. You could take that at home. Another thing you may want to consider, you get your GED. You skip 2 years of high school, and then you just go to community college, and you work your way back up to a 4-year institution for one major in STEM. Let's postpone that for now. Right now, nothing's stopping you from going straight to college and taking a class online, or your local community college as a junior or senior in high school. Go knock out your credits right now. But getting back to this, the fact you're in a bad school district or the ghetto I understand. I get that. That's a disadvantage. Too bad you're still going to have to teach yourself. Okay? Too much is riding on it. Way too much is riding on it. And if the school is that bad or that unsafe or that distracting, then you're better off going at home and teaching yourself. But you have to have the self-discipline to do it. And I think what you're going to find out is if you get home and get into some good studying habits, you could probably graduate from high school in about a year. Because it's not that hard. I don't know where you are right now. I'm assuming you're like a sophomore or something like that. Oh no, wait, you took your SATs. You're probably a junior or a senior by now. So all this has been academic. Statistics show lower income people and their families have lower IQs. My grandparents are illiterate, so I feel the gene pool may not be in my favor. Now we're talking nurture versus nature. Were your grandparents in your genetic code, is it truly low IQ? You have evidence it isn't with your GPA of 3.6. Or was it their nurture or their environment? Were they brought up? Yeah, people who are in poverty tend to have lower IQs. Not necessarily because there's anything genetically wrong with them where they are genetically stupid, but they don't have the time, they don't have the nutrition. There's a ton of other variables that go into it. But for whatever reason, you have seemed to buck these variables and trends. You have a pretty darn good GPA. And I'd add another 300 points easily to your SAT score if you tried. Reading is 480, 520. I pay for video, so hectic for me. Not sure if I say, yeah, got it. Yep, we got it. So here's the deal, kid. One, we don't do fear. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to take tests and try hard in life. Well, you're gonna have to take tests and not try hard in life. So I would stop worrying about it because it's not like you can hope that you're not going to. It's fated to happen. So if you want to worry about shit that's going to happen anyway, that's like paying unnecessary interest on a debt that has to be paid back anyway. I didn't say that, Confucius did. Don't say, oh wow, Aaron, that's so wise. I totally lifted that. So let's knock it off with the fear. And then two, let's knock it off with the laziness. And you don't tell me you're not, you're dumb. Don't tell me. A 3.6 that just doesn't happen. So my prediction is, we don't know what your IQ will be. My prediction is if you do it the way I tell you to, and you study, and you take some practice tests, you're going to test with an IQ of around 125 to 135, which is more than adequate to get a STEM degree. All right? And then they'll tell you that you are capable of doing it. Then it is your choice whether you're going to put forth the effort into it or not, and I strongly recommend you do. Knock it off with the fear and laziness. Because if you don't put in that time and effort now, you're afraid of hard work, you're going to work 2 to 3 times harder. Being lazy, not putting in your time now, not investing in these skills, than if you did knuckle down, take the bull by the horns, knock this motherfucker out and get your degree in engineering or STEM or whatever legitimate degree you decide to get. Because once you get that degree, you're not going to work no $15 an hour job 60 hours a week. You're going to work a $30, $40, $50, $60 an hour job for 30 to 40 hours a week. And you will work a lot less time over the course of your life. The lazy man majors in STEM. The smart lazy man majors in STEM because he's like, oh, I don't want to work. I really don't want to work, so I'm going to do it now. The dumb lazy man majors in what they feel, and they just don't major in anything at all. So that's my prediction. I predict your IQ is going to come between 125 and 135. If it doesn't, and it's lower, all right, depends on where you are, and I agree with you and Jordan Peterson, IQ of 110, accounting, 115, accounting, maybe a little bit of IT, trades. If it comes in at 100, which I highly doubt it will, again, your GPA and your writing just does not indicate that to me. The reason why is you didn't try. I'll tell you that right now. You ain't got no average IQ. But let's say you tried your best, and maybe there's a lot of grade inflation at your school, and that's why you got a 3.6. And your real IQ is 100. Okay, at least now you know. Because you're not going to waste your time, money, and not to mention torturing your brain, majoring something you're just simply not intelligent enough to do. It's It's better to find out what you can and can't do now, rather than, oh my God, I gotta get into STEM and fret about it when you never could get into it in the first place. So let's take that first step and accurately assess your capabilities through a really good try at an IQ test, and then you can go from there. And then, you know what? Oh darn, you have an IQ of 100. That's average, man. Nothing wrong with that. Military. I'm going to be doing underwater welding or electricity, but maybe some trades would be all right. Mechanics, you got to be pretty smart to be a mechanic, auto mechanic and all that. But there are options. I don't think that's going to happen yet. So let's see where you are first. And then if you have an IQ of 100, then you can hit me up. Oh my God, what do I do with an IQ of 100? Then I'm like, I got to go do research. All right, questions, answers. AssholeConsulting.com. Check out the links below. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.